Alright, so to start, obviously one of the first things you're going to be having in your kit bag is going to be your team wear. So your kit for your team. I'm down in the team wear section here at Ultra Football. Obviously for me, for my team, my kit is all supplied, so I'm not going to be worried about having that in my bag, but I'll give you guys a quick look around at some of the kit options that we got from Adidas and Nike for the upcoming season. You might even recognize your team, your club's kit in here. While we're down here beside the socks, I'm going to quickly talk about, of course, something that has become bigger and bigger over the last few years to give you that extra little bit of performance, and that is grip socks. So here in store we have got the Jocker grip socks, and they've got those little grip pads on them. Of course there's other options like the True socks. They're pretty much original grip socks, the only ones that have padding inside the sock and outside as well. And then there is also the tape design socks, which have become more and more popular on the market right now. If you're trying to match your team socks, you need to be able to get them in a range of colors, obviously, and depending what you can do with your team, you'll then be cutting your team socks to allow to wear them underneath. I'm not going to be telling you what pair of socks I'm going to be picking for this video to put in my kit bag, but you'll see that at the end of the video. There's always a good option for training kits, picking the team that you support, obviously, especially if you don't get supplied a training kit by your club. It is always good to have some of these on hand, and of course you don't have to wear them to training, you can wear it casual as well. So I'm going to be picking out one of these shirts from the boot room to have as my training kit. That will be in my bag later in the video. Alright, so there's that age-old saying of look good, play good, and for me one of the most important things is what you wear on your feet. But we're not talking boots, we're talking pre-game, so we're talking trainers, we're talking shoes. And checking my creps today, I'm wearing a pair of the Nike React 270s. That's what I'd be wearing for a pre-game. Of course there are a lot of options. It's just crucial to make sure that you are super comfortable in whatever you're wearing to your match, because you want to be ready to play. And these guys right here are catching my eye at the moment. If you're a Man United fan, it is very, very hard to go past these Ultra Boosts. So we're looking here right now down the middle of the store. We got lots of ball options. Again, for me, not something that I am going to need to put in my bag, just because my team is going to be supplying the balls for me. But there are many options out on the market these days. And of course I'll take you over and we'll have a look at the top of the line. The Merlin football, of course the Premier League football of last season, this one. Like I said, not going to be included in my bag because it is supplied by the club, but does not get more high quality than this right here. After talking about socks, it is time to talk about the things you put underneath your socks, and that is the shin pads. Now we'll have a look at the options that Ultra Football has for us here. They've of course got the Mercurial Light. They've also got the Mercurial Light with the Super Lock technology now. Shin pads these days are a lot different to what they used to be. There are a lot of options. There's shin pads with sleeves built in, the shin pads that you slide into sleeves, and of course we've still got the classic shin pads with the ankle guards. Now these all become personal preference to what you like the feeling of and how much you value the protection of your leg, of course, as well, which can slightly be dependent on what league you're playing in. But I'm going to pick a pair to put into my boot bag, so stay tuned so you can see what ones those are going to be. Alright, and now we get to one of the most important things to think about when you're putting them into your bag. It is the football boots. Obviously something this whole channel loves to talk about. Now when you're choosing these, there is a lot of factors that come into play, obviously, from color to style to design to what material you like the feeling of on your foot, but even all the way to what sole plate you need. What grounds are you going to be playing on more in the season? If you're looking at you're going to be playing on a lot of artificial or turf pitches, then you're obviously going to need to look towards boots that will accommodate that. Do you want to look for more conical studs on your boot? Do you want to be looking for as many conical studs on a boot as possible to create less surface area every time you're planting your foot? So the Pumas are a great option for that. They have a lot of conical studs. Doesn't have the rough studs like an FG boot, but has a molded texture on the sole to give you good traction on the turf nevertheless. Whereas if you're going to be looking at playing on wet, muddy pitches, you obviously want to be starting to look for soft ground variants of boots. And obviously Nike have the option of the anti-clog sole plate as well, which is a great option if you think you're going to be playing on a lot of boggy pitches. But for me, it is now my chance. I'm going to pick out a couple of boots that I'll be looking for. Alright, so I'm back over on the team wear side of things, and I'm looking for something like a drill top or a training jacket, but then also training pants as well. Just something to keep you warm going to or from training or even the game, and then also while training as well. So I'm going to be having a look at my options that I have around here, and then of course selecting one to add to my football bag. One piece of equipment that flies under a lot of people's radar is compression. So Ultra Football actually have their own brand of compression shorts. Of course there's compression brands from all the main brands like Nike. Skins are big in compression as well, so it's always good to keep some in your rotation inside your bag if you like to wear them plain, or even having some for recovery after a tough game can be very good, as well as it just helps the blood to pump through your legs and helps to get rid of that lactic acid, and it benefits your recovery. So I'm definitely going to be adding a pair into my bag for the 2019-2020 season. Post-game footwear, so we're looking here, we're looking at the slides. Of course, we're getting you around those scummy changing rooms when your teammates are throwing their dirty socks and kit everywhere. But also just for comfort, it doesn't get much better than after a game taking your feet out of your boots and just sliding them in to some soft slides. Of course, once again, you got plenty of options. Alright guys, so it is time. I have my boot bag here in front of me, my bag for the 1920 season, and you've obviously already seen some of the options that I've showed you around the store, but it's time to dive in and have a look at what I've chosen. So I'm just going to unzip it here, and the first thing that opens up at the top of the bag is something that you guys didn't even see in the video, but it's something that I have with me literally everywhere I go, and that is my pair of headphones. Music to me, going to training, going to a game, it is one of the most important things to get me in the mood to play football. So I've got my Beats, they get me everywhere. So those out of the bag. Next thing I've got in here is just a training jersey, and the jersey I've gone for is a Real Madrid, and you can't go wrong. Anything blue gold, I think this is such a good jersey. I'm a big fan. I'm not even really a Real Madrid supporter, but I just like the jersey itself. Some of you might be surprised I haven't gone for an Arsenal one, but that's been in too many videos lately. Okay, on to the next thing, and we're looking at the first pair of boots. Now, being from New Zealand, I'm used to playing on boggy pitches, so I've gone for my first pair as an SG pair, and I have here the Predator 19s in the most recent colorway, the hard white pack. Honestly, not the first colorway that I jumped to. I prefer a blackout pair, but this is what I have for my soft ground boots, so I'll put those down in front. Now next up, I have a drink bottle. I've gone for a Real Madrid one again to match the shirt. And now when you're playing football, hydration is one of the most important things out of all of it. Your body needs water to function to its best of its ability. Now obviously you can add supplements, you can add all sorts of different things as well to help your body gain all the electrolytes it needs that it loses through sweating and obviously doing physical activity. So I'll put that one down in front of the bag as well. Now on to the next thing, and we are here, we're looking at some compression shorts. Now I've chosen the Ultra Football branded ones because they are what I have here at my disposal. Personally, I'm not a big compression shorts guy. I quite often wear compression pants after games for recovery, but I have those just in case. Remember to make sure those are matching the color of your club's kit and the shorts that you wear, otherwise you're going to get refs pulling you up all the time. I know it's so painful. Now another thing that I've recently started doing is wearing grip socks. I never really thought it was a big deal until I started wearing them a lot, and my go-to sock now is the Jocker grip sock. I am a big fan. It just gives you that little bit extra feeling of lockdown. You get that little bit more performance from your boots as well. So my personal preference is to cut my team socks, wear my Jocker socks underneath, then of course put my team socks over top as pretty much a sleeve, which I then take my shin pads into. And speaking of shin pads, they're the next thing I have in my bag. Now this one might be a bit of a weird one for you guys at home. I know I showed you a lot of options out in ultra football, and a lot of different good options as well. But what I have here is 10-cent shin pads from Kmart. Yeah, you heard me right. I don't really like wearing shin pads, so my personal preference is I wear these cheap little kids ones that normally have Velcro on them, and I just cut off the elastic, cut off the Velcro, and just keep the shin pad itself. I like the feeling of them because they're pretty much not there. I don't even notice them. They're tiny, they don't give me much protection, but that's what I prefer. And to lock those in place, I use guard stays. So the ones I have here are Nike. Of course, again, try and match these to the color of your socks, but I use those to lock my shin pads in place. Of course, helped by the sock on top as well. But next up, we have something for my training. Now, every day I pretty much find myself wearing tech pants. I've got so many of them, and I do love training them as well. So here I have some Nike FC tech pants. I'm a big fan of the feeling when training, especially got to make sure that they taper nicely down into the ankle so you don't have all kind of pant bobbling around where you're taking your touch. So we'll add those to the floor as well. And to go with the pants, I also have a Nike drill top. It's just a classic tracksuit sort of look with just, I've gone very simple. I've gone for the black and white. I'm a pretty boring person when it comes to my boot taste and my clothing taste, but I'll tell you something that's not boring that I have in this bag is my second pair of boots. Now these are personally one of my favorite pairs. You're not going to see many people wearing these around. I'm not sure if you can see them through the bag, but they are a pair of Predator accelerators, the Zinedine Zidane remakes. And now I've changed a little thing about these as well. I've gone and done a little bit of home improvement and added a tongue strap to them in that gold color as well. So it holds that tongue down nicely onto my boot. But those are my go-to football boots at the moment. I love them so much. There's one thing you definitely need for after the game, and it is a towel, some deodorant, and of course some shower gel as well, because you've got to be cleaning up after you sweat it out on a pitch. And the last thing to slide on after those is some slides. Of course, get the comfort levels up after the game. And I've gone for a pretty outrageous colorway here. Obviously the black or white slides do the trick as well, but I've gone nice and bright. And the last thing I have in this bag, as I teased throughout the video, is a very special pair of boots. And what it is the brand new Mizuno Morelio Neo Beta, the new lightweight edition of the Morelio Neo. It still has that premium K-leather around the toe box, but they've gone away with the leather around the back heel of the boot, and they've put in a very lightweight synthetic along with some carbon fiber in that sole plate. And these are just outrageous. They look so good, of course handmade in Japan, so the most premium of quality that you can get on a football boot. So they're my last boot in the boot bag. They also have conical studs, so if I'm playing on an artificial on a 3G pitch, that'll probably be my go-to. But that's it. Apart from that, my bag is empty, and as you can see, I just used a basic Nike team bag to put all my gear in. So what do you guys think of my selections, or what's going to be in my boot bag? Is there anything that you guys would have different to me? Anything that you think I've missed out? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's it for the video today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.